like to thank our fans for turning out for a 9 p.m. start on back-to-back nights. Says a lot about them. We recognize as players and coaches that it's not like this everywhere. And I thought our crowd was outstanding. And hopefully tomorrow it can be even bigger and better. We're gonna need a great crowd. We're in a 4-team tournament. There's 4 of these 14 tournaments going on at the same time. And sometimes everybody thinks you're in the preseason NIT that you get to play in Madison Square Garden. We don't get anything unless we win tomorrow. If we don't win, we're not going to Madison Square Garden. So our goal is to win this 4-team tournament and give ourselves an opportunity to play in New York in another 4-team tournament. Tomorrow we play a very hungry, well-coached team in Rhode Island. I left that conference to come to Arizona, and the Atlantic 10 is a hungry conference. They have really good players and good coaches. And every November and December, there's one of those teams that venture out into this high major world, and they remind everybody how good they really are. We don't need reminded. We respect them a great deal. They beat a terrific Metro State team tonight. And when you think about them flying all the way across the country, playing at 9 o'clock their time and playing against maybe the Division II national champion, that was a setup game for them. And I thought their second half really showed that they have a very solid team. So we know they're going to win a lot of games this year, and we have to be ready tomorrow.
How does 100 feel for you?
It feels good. It's better to celebrate that than not be at that number. I'll say that. But hopefully there's many more to come this year and beyond for sure.
Last year, right around this time, I think you mentioned how you felt the program was on its feet, back on its feet for the first time under you. Where are you now then, a year later?
Well, by the standards that we have here, I think we have both feet on the ground and we're solid. And it's about us being consistent from this point on, where you know what to expect, and that we're about winning, we're about excellence, and we're about winning championships. That's the standard here. And when you hold yourself to that standard, every day you do something matters. And it's not easy. It really isn't, because there's so much parity in college basketball, whether it be in recruiting, whether it be on the court, that it's not easy to stay on top or get to the top. And that's what we're striving towards, to be a true top 10 team. And we'll learn a lot about us this year, tomorrow, and then hopefully next week.
Coach, you got 15 players in, and to get the guys who don't typically get in, the guys at the end of the bench, what does that mean for you to see them at the end of the court, or at the end of the game, and then playing it off like that?
Well, it was important tonight because it allowed a lot of our starters and key players to rest. Playing 2 games in 2 nights isn't easy, especially when that second game is going to be a stiff test like we're going to face tomorrow night. So it allowed a lot of our key players to rest. But it also, I think, reflects on how important everybody is in a program. Those guys practice hard every day. They're valuable contributors. And I thought they did a great job tonight. They played a lot of minutes, and at the end of the game, they were sharp. It was great to get Elliot Pitts in the game. And I think everyone can kind of see that he's a young Colt with a lot of talent. I think each week that we go on, there's a bigger and better chance that he becomes a part of what we do.
Can you talk about Hazard? He sat down here and said tonight was a dream come true, and being shocked getting to sit and talk to the media.
Well, Jacob has a great personality, and he's valuable, was a year ago, is even more this year. He represents the point guard on our scout team, contributes every day in practice. So, being able to get him in the game, and really all the guys in the game, whether it be Trey or Eric, Drew, Mellon, everybody on our team is part of our basketball family, and they all work very hard every day. So it's nice when they get this opportunity.
What are your thoughts on the balance today? You had 6 players who compiled double digits. What can you say about that?
Well, the stat that means the most to us right now is 5 turnovers. I really don't care who you play, especially in the month of November. If you could play a 40-minute game with 5 turnovers, that's outstanding. And I think it represents our guard play, but also that we have a team that's really taking care of the ball. Obviously, we're physical, and with our starting group in particular, we have great size. That doesn't always mean that it shows up, but when you look at the difference in rebounding as well, that's the other stat that really is overwhelming. We did a real good job at San Diego State rebounding. It was nice for us to carry that into tonight's game. Tomorrow will be an even bigger test because Rhode Island plays hard. They're not going to just give us second shots. We're going to have to earn them.
Sean, how tough are you guys when you guys go on these runs that are just maximum?
Well, when we get stops and our defense is really in place, it allows us to get out in transition, and we thrive in transition. And I think a lot of good teams do. We have unselfish players. TJ at the point guard, 9 assists and 1 turnover is great. And, especially when you consider that he played only 22 minutes. He was on pace for a 13 or 14 assist night, which says a lot, and he's really unselfish in it. It seems to trickle down from him because when your point guard thinks that way and plays that way, it's a lot easier for everybody else to be the same.
In that time, though, when you're going on these runs, even as a coach, you kind of go in your mind, wow.
Well, we want to keep getting out in transition. Now, I don't say wow because I feel like that's who we have to be. The more we can get out in transition off of our defense, the better our team is, for sure.
Does that turnover number also reflect the fact that it never descended into kind of playground or sloppiness?
Yep. And I commend the guys who came in at the end of the game to be responsible and play like they did.
Coach, getting the players in at the end of the game, is that something that you're mindful of late in games, or do you have to be reminded of that kind of stuff, or do you try and be kind of on top of it?
I try to be on top of it. Obviously, our staff's on top of it as well. And tonight it was really important, not just to get them in the game, but not really play our players unnecessary minutes. And then we had a big lead. Aaron and Brandon played 25 and 24, but from the rest of them, tomorrow shouldn't feel like they just came off of a hard-fought game. Rhode Island did, in fact, play a hard-fought game, so hopefully sometime in the second half tomorrow we can gain the advantages that we got.
How about the idea, too, that your starters set the tone? I mean, so many more points were scored since Johnson kind of came in and scored several baskets, and Brandon, too, at the beginning of the game, setting the tone.
Well, you put those 5 players out there, and you want them to be ready. There's a reason they're starting, and there's a lot of pride, especially at home in McHale, to get off to good starts. It doesn't mean we're going to win, or if we don't get off to a good start, we have to keep playing. But I think the teams who are really together, that are excellent, and that are ready to play the game, generally they set the tone early, and tonight we did.
Take one more.
And Sean, what does it say to Aaron? He doesn't have a great night offensively, but he still ends up with a double-double.
He just finds a way to rebound the ball, and he has a gift. We talked about his second jump and a couple tip-ins tonight that just aren't easy to do.
Thank you.